Thanks for joining us this Sunday evening. I'm Mark Salinger.
I'm Kim Christensen. Tonight there is fallout on CU Boulder's campus after half a dozen people overdosed at a frat party. It happened last night at the Kappa Sigma house. 9 News reporter Rachel Krause is following this story for us. And Rachel, you have new details on what happened.
Yeah, Boulder Police say this started after 10 o'clock last night. 911 calls from the Kappa Sigma house began coming in, and people started showing up at a Boulder hospital after overdosing at a frat party. Kappa Sigma Nationals have suspended the CU Boulder chapter tonight after several students were taken to the hospital. Boulder Police say at least 6 men overdosed. Officers found people visibly sick and throwing up. Boulder Police tell me they had to administer Narcan. At the time, one man's condition was considered grave. It has since improved. Today, CU Boulder confirmed the 6 young men taken to the hospital were students partying off campus at the fraternity house. Police believe the men had ingested a possibly tainted batch of cocaine. Alcohol was also involved at the party. Detectives are now investigating whether this was related to pledging at the fraternity. In a statement, CU Boulder said in part, while this news is devastating to our campus community, we're thankful that all students are expected to recover. They added they're working to reach those impacted to provide support, and they'll be working with Boulder PD on the criminal investigation. The Division of Student Affairs will determine if any disciplinary action will be taken. We reached out to Kappa Sigma Nationals tonight. They say they're aware of the incident, and this chapter has been suspended pending an investigation. Important to note, while this Kappa Sigma chapter maintains its charter, CU Boulder has not recognized the fraternity on campus for nearly a decade. They were expelled in 2015 after violations with safety and welfare concerns. Boulder Police are investigating, and they're asking anyone who was at the party or may have information about what happened to give them a call. Rachel Krause, 9 News.
Yeah, certainly scary, scary stuff. More to learn. Thanks, Rachel. It was a fairly warm day out there, although cloudy and a little breezy at times. Tomorrow, do not expect a repeat because sounds like, Kathy, things are going to change and they're going this way.
When I know. Mark was like, what's up? I was trying to walk my dog. What was with the wind already?
It was windy out there. It was cold.
I know.
Need a bigger coat.
The winds of change are blowing tonight, guys. It wasn't cold everywhere. Denver's high today at 58, and temperatures were in the upper 60s in eastern Colorado. But the high cloud cover coming in tonight ahead of a cold front that has already dropped our temperature to 31. Winds are really gusty over some of the elevated terrain and higher passes and up in Weld County. We do have snow showers in the metro forecast for Monday. Light accumulation in the mountains tonight ahead of a spell of quiet weather. That mountain wave cloud has since moved out. The parent low to the north, but cold air starting to fill in, and we're going to start to see the snow fly. We're already seeing a little bit of snow on radar in the northern mountains. The only advisory for snow covers the Sangre de Cristo and wet mountain ranges, but it will start to pile up overnight into tomorrow, and Denver will get in on a little bit of the action as we move through the afternoon hours. I'm going to break down the timing and impact of this latest storm coming up.
Deputies in Arapahoe County are searching for a man who tried to kidnap a child. The sheriff's office won't provide specific details about the attempted abduction, only saying it happened about 9:45 last night on ECL near Cherry Creek. Deputies say the man wore a black ski mask, a Mickey Mouse hoodie, and orange shoes. They say he was in a black SUV with a black Colorado license plate. It had the word watermelon in pink on the back of that SUV and Toy Story characters, Woody and Slinky Dog, under the front right tailgate. Anyone with information about the attempted kidnapping is asked to call the sheriff's office.
Construction crews along Colfax are giving business owners headaches, and not just from the noise. Work by Denver Water is restricting access to some restaurants and shops. The owner of Lilac Coffee says he's feeling the impact. Last week, work to replace more than 5 miles of pipe along Colfax blocked both access points to the 8-month-old business. The owner says they ended up shutting down 8 hours early one day, only making about $200. On a typical day, they say that they would make up to $1,500.
For any business, like the first 3 years are just like extremely sensitive. We're not Starbucks. We can't afford to close for a day, a week, and just not be affected. So it's been really hard.
Feel the pain for the new business. Denver Water says they understand the frustration from business owners and are trying to finish the construction safely and quickly.
A program that helps Coloradans pay their medical bills has gotten $10 million back for them. Otherwise, patients would have had to pay out of pocket.
Our Angeline McCall introduces us to one man who used the program, and it helped him keep his house.
Other ones, and again, I paid these.
After $500,000 worth of medical bills,
But there's these,
Glenn Hayes would describe his situation differently than most.
it sounds weird to say, but I've actually been lucky. Because what happened, like I say, 80% of the people don't survive it. It's very, rare, and it's kind of serious.
In January, Glenn's aorta split open. It's the main heart vessel that carries blood to the rest of the body.
You hear these horror stories. People have medical horror stories, and I figured, well, I'm now one of them.
After several surgeries, a hospital stay, and post-injury care, he was left with a bill.
They sent me a bill for $20,000. I'm like, okay, I'll pay it.
That bill turned into $60,000, then $543,000.
You don't send a bill like that to somebody with a weak heart without some warning, for heaven's sakes. They could have done me in right there.
Glenn planned to sell his house to pay his bills until he heard of Colorado's Consumer Assistance Program.
What we've noticed is that there's been an increase in hospital billing overall that seems incorrect, or patients are having a hard time affording their own medical bills in general.
Priya Talang with the Colorado Consumer Health Initiative said they've stepped in for people like Glenn to negotiate down payments, correct when bills shouldn't have been sent at all, or help them find programs to help pay.
Overall, we've had a huge increase in our caseload this year.
The need has gone up 24% since 2023.
We've been doing this for now 6 years, and we just reached $10 million in savings, which is both amazing and disappointing in the first place that we have to be here for consumers to do this work so that they aren't saddled with medical debt.
In Glenn's case, they helped him discover he was in fact eligible for Medicaid, meaning all of his bills would be covered.
Inexplainable. The words aren't there. Just it was such a relief to have that lifted.
It was something more than luck that saved him more than just money in the end.
So yeah, they saved me over $500,000. I'm still in my house, not having to live in my brother's basement. I think that's a great thing.
Glenn said that he had spent time trying to negotiate down the payments on his own. He'd actually started a payment plan, and he actually began paying it as well. And then through this program, he was encouraged to fight an initial Medicaid denial. He said if it weren't for that guidance, he would have never appealed and realized that he was, in fact, eligible.
Yeah, because how do you know? I mean, there's no way you know, and you're just freaking out like he is, like sell your house. But it's the way the billing has changed and the hospital systems too.
Yeah, it's really hard to navigate as a patient, right? And so something that the CAP program has actually noticed is that they've actually seen healthcare systems billing high or billing in cases where they shouldn't bill at all, meaning that patients are really sort of shouldering a large cost that they shouldn't otherwise be dealing with, also saying that consolidations are increasing medical bills as well. And so that's a big part of this, right? We know that
we see about that all the time.
Yeah.
$10 million saved, that's a lot of money. Angela McCall, appreciate it.